Hello, everyone, and welcome back to an episode of the Northern Block Podcast. It is Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. I am your host here, Nordic 97, joined with LeBlock James. LeBlock, how we doing?
Doing fantastic today. We're almost there.
Sounds great. We are almost at the draft. That is indeed correct. We are almost there. So, this is going to be our final mock draft before the draft on Friday. We have some things to talk about here first. First and foremost, Trevor Zegras is a Philadelphia Flyer. He has been traded to the Flyers in exchange for Ryan Poehling, a second-round pick, which is 45th overall in this year's draft, and a 2026 fourth-round pick as well. Yes. I can't believe this is actually a thing. Can you believe this, LeBlanc? I'm actually kind of blown away.
I'm not surprised he got traded. I'm surprised he went to Philly. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't think that the Flyers were going to be the location that this guy was going to go to. I honestly thought it was going to be another team that would take a chance on this guy, but not Trevor Zegras, and I'm a little bit shocked about that. I like Zegras a lot. I think the last couple of seasons in Anaheim were just too very injury prone and just with some pretty bad coaches. Honestly, in Anaheim with Greg Cronin. Who was the coach before? I can't even remember.
Dallas Eakins?
Yeah, Dallas Eakins. So, like, they've never had, like, a coach that, like, let the young guys play. It's always the old and, set in stone coaches. Like, oh, you do it my way or the highway, essentially. So, yeah, Zegras, I feel like they were also trying to make him, like, a defensive player. I really wasn't a fan of it. This is a low-risk, high-reward type deal for Philadelphia. If Zegras works out, if you put him on a line with Michkov and Konechny, this could be a very good acquisition by the Flyers. It's a low-risk, high-reward, again, as I said. And if it doesn't work out, honestly, I don't think that it's that big of a deal. He's on a $5.75 million deal. There's an RFA at the end of it. He'll expire, and then you can trade him away. It doesn't really matter. Philadelphia is not making the playoffs next year, so if this doesn't work out, it's okay. The future is still pretty bright, but I like this a lot for the Flyers. As for the Ducks, actually, I'll let you say your thoughts on the Flyers first. What do you think about this for the Flyers?
I like it for the Flyers because, it's another piece to the rebuild, and I think Zegras is going to be a core piece going forward for the Flyers. You look at his time at Anaheim, Greg Cronin was, he's in my way or the highway. Nah. That's his type of coach now. When he was under Dallas Eakins, he thrived with a younger coach who favors younger players.
Yeah, exactly.
I think with Tocchet in Philly now, I think you're going to see a resurgence of Trevor Zegras. I don't think he'll ever get to the stature he was when he was first in Anaheim. Do you remember the first 2 seasons he was there in Anaheim? He was he was polarizing. And
the hype was still there.
All I got to say is this was only happening because Torts8 ain't there no more.
That is exactly why. This trade does not happen if John Tortorella is in Philadelphia. I don't think any of this happens if Tortorella isn't in Philadelphia. So, I totally agree with that.
I did the meme. It's like, Zap, welcome back. Welcome back, Torts. Are the Michigan guys gone yet? No, zap me again.
Pretty much, yeah. Going from the Ducks' perspective, I honestly think it's not that bad. The return, it's underwhelming considering the fact that it's Trevor Zegras you're trading away. I totally agree with that. But to be honest with you, I feel like they need a player like Ryan Poehling more than they need a guy like Trevor Zegras. Anaheim's top 6 is already loaded. I got to be honest with you, Poehling is a third or fourth line guy. I think that is better for the Ducks than it would be a Trevor Zegras who just didn't work out there. So what do you think about that? I think Anaheim had a decent return. I don't think it's incredible, but it's not terrible like everybody's saying it is.
So the return, at first, the return looked pretty lackluster. And I'm going to say this right now, Trevor Zegras' value was at an all-time low.
Yes, it's literally so bad.
They weren't going to get good value for Trevor Zegras. I'll be honest, I feel like if they kept him, it wouldn't be a big deal. But I feel like they're going to go big game hunting and they need that cap space. But getting Ryan Poehling back, who's going to be a pretty good fourth liner, I would say, for them.
Yeah.
And they got a second round pick back as well.
Yes, they got the 45th overall pick and a 4th round pick.
Yeah, so you basically got like it's not. I always call it like a low first, second, early seconds or late first, in my opinion. So
Pretty
you're
much.
gonna get a good player with that pick, or you can flip it to get another asset. So I don't think Anaheim did that bad. I saw the reaction online. Oh, just throw Pat Verbeek away. Like I saw the whole reaction. But the one good thing that comes out of this is Drysdale and Zegras are now back on the same team.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's too. I think that's going to be very exciting seeing those two with their chemistry back on the roster. I'm very excited to see that because Drysdale and Zegras haven't been that great since they've left each other. So honestly, I think that getting them on the same team, it could do some good. So I like the trade a lot. Moving on from the Zegras acquisition, which I think we will see in time if it is right. But as well as that, too, the 2025 Hall of Fame class has been announced. And we got some new people in it. And finally, Alex Mogilny is in the Hall of Fame. The full list, Zdeno Chara, Joe Thornton, Alex Mogilny, Duncan Keith, Brianna Decker, Jennifer Botterill, Jack Parker, and Danielle Savago, however you say it. I think this class is mostly good. I think it's all deserving, to be honest with you. Mogilny finally gets in there about freaking time.
Yeah, after all those years. I'll be honest, I thought he was never going to get in because
Me too.
It's been so long since he's been eligible. But
yeah, I was so shocked.
I'm glad he finally got in because I think especially the past couple years, been a lot of discourse about Mogilny not getting in.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Chara, Chara, Big Z, former Ottawa Senator. Very well deserved. You got there. You have Brianne Decker, one of the most decorated U.S. women's hockey players of all time. And then
Jennifer Botterill. I know her from her TV career, so I'm not going to comment on her accomplishments in the sport because I don't know them. Damn. Jumbo Joe and Duncan Keith. How do you feel about that?
Keith, yeah, surefire Hall of Famer, one of the best defensemen of our generation. Jumbo, I think, well deserved as well. The one thing I missed, though, Carey Price, not first ballot.
That's really shocking. Like, I'm going to be honest, that's really shocking because he had that Hart Trophy, he had multiple Vezinas, carried Montreal to that Cup final. Why don't you think he got in?
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know, because if I was a voter, I would have voted for Carey Price. Because Carey Price, in my opinion, Carey Price is one of the best goaltenders of this generation.
I don't really know.
He carried a really bad Montreal team for so long.
Yes. And what's crazy is like the one stat that really resonates with me from the Montreal days is that they never had an 80-point scorer when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
That's like insane. That's actually crazy. I think they had one. It was Kovalev. I think it was Kovalev. That was the only one. But that's insane. That's freaking wild. So I kind of can't really believe that, to be honest with you. We'll have to see if he gets inducted in the class of 2026. I imagine he would. But if he doesn't, you got to think it's a personal beef at that point. So, yeah, overall a good inductee class. For Parker and Savago, I don't really know a lot about them. They're just builders, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know much about them, but not to discredit their accomplishments, but congrats.
Yeah, congrats to all 8 of these guys on being inducted. So, one more piece of news before we get into our final mock draft, and this actually is going to matter. This really does matter towards our mock. The Rangers have sent their 12th overall pick to the Pittsburgh Penguins instead of deferring it to 2026. So now Pittsburgh will have the 11th overall pick and the 12th overall pick. Originally, it was a part of the JT Miller trade, but then literally the same night, the pick was traded over to Pittsburgh for Marcus Pettersson. However, it was top 13 protected, and if it was in the top 13, the Rangers had the option to give that pick to Pittsburgh or make Pittsburgh take their pick next year. So I think, I mean, you had a little bit of an opinion on it. You want to say yours first? Because I think I actually differ from you.
So I have pros and cons.
Okay.
Pros are next year's draft is loaded.
Yes.
So if you're bad next year, you don't have to worry about Pittsburgh getting your pick.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
The cons are I believe the Rangers are going to be better than the 12th worst team in the league next year. And I don't think it sends the right message to the players there right now.
That is true. Yeah.
So hiring Mike Sullivan.
Yes, they're hiring Mike Sullivan as well. I got to be honest with you. I really think that this is the right move to give them the pick this year because, again, as you said, next year's draft is stacked. I don't think the Rangers are really going to benefit from a lottery pick. I know you said that earlier today. I just don't think like that's really going to benefit them that much in the grand scheme of things, to be brutally honest with you. Like, they want to win now. I don't think a lottery pick right now is going to help them. I just think that it's the right move, in my opinion. And Pittsburgh gets 2 back-to-back picks. They can use those picks to maybe they want to trade one of them. I wouldn't say that's a good idea, but they could. And as well as that, too, you get another prospect at that point, which, looking back at our mock draft, who we had at that point around 12th overall was Victor Eklund. So Anton Frondell, you have options there.
Yes.
At the 11th and 12th overall pick. So I think it bodes very well for the Pittsburgh Penguins. That being said, should we get into the final mock?
Let's just get into it.
All right, let's hop right in. So our final mock draft prior to the 2025 draft, we did our one the other episode. So we have 2 here, and we're not going to really use this one. This one is for the stream on Friday that me and LeBlanc are going to be participating in. And this one to the left with all the picks saying what order the picks are going to be in is just the order that we're going to do this year. So we got 1 to 32. LeBlanc James has first overall. I realized that I made an error with this. Let me fix this real quick just so it doesn't look weird. All right, perfect. And all right, first overall to the New York Islanders, LeBlanc James. Who are you picking?
In our final mock, I'm doing my picks based off who I think the team is going to pick, not who I would pick.
Yes.
But I feel like Matthew Schaefer is a clear lock to go number 1 here. Had a injury riddled season with the Oilers. Got injured in the World Juniors, but you know what? This guy's he's one of the best skaters I've seen from a defenseman coming out of the draft. If I'm going to be frank here. Giving me shades of Roman Yoshi and Jake Sanderson. I really do like his game. He could be a solid 2-way defenseman at the next level.
Yeah, Schaefer just has all of the pieces in his toolbox to be a very talented player. I think that, again, he's the lock to go number 1 overall. He's by far the best defenseman in the draft. It makes me excited for what is to come here with this guy. And going to the Islanders, a blue line that has been not so great for the last couple of years, it's going to be a good pickup for sure. Second overall for me now to the San Jose Sharks. I am going to go with Michael Misa. So far, nothing has changed from our original mock. Misa, again, I said it in our previous one. I really do believe that this guy is the best player in the draft. Like, I think he's better than Matthew Schaefer. I think he's better than basically anybody. Again, you look at the comps, I think it says the same thing. I just think this guy's a lot better. He's an offensive dynamo, has a great shot, great playmaking skill. Everything about this guy is just simply phenomenal. So I'm a big fan of Michael Misa here for sure. Second overall to the San Jose Sharks. Now, third overall to Chicago. Is this where we start seeing changes, LeBlanc?
I'm going to say something about San Jose real quick. There are rumblings out of San Jose's camp that Frondell is a contender to go second overall.
I did hear that. I saw the thing from Cam Robinson saying that Lundell might not make it past 3. So, I don't know.
I really do think Chicago. I know last mock we took Porter Martone. I'm going to go Anton Frondell here. Like, I just think it's a match made in heaven. Because I feel like Frondell can do most of the things that Martone can do, but he's a center.
Exactly. So that's the biggest thing.
And a very good season for Jew Gardens over there in Sweden. One thing I really do like about Anton Frundell is that he's got hands for days, good defensively. He's more of a tactician in his game, so he's a bit of a film rat. So he sees something he doesn't like, he's going to go watch the film, he's going to correct it immediately. He's not one of those, I stick to my game. No, he's always looking to adjust his game so he can get better.
Yeah. So again, I think that that's something that Frondell really has. And I also think too, like he had the numbers in overseas prove it. Everything when it comes to Sweden with Jew Gardens, internationally with Sweden in the World Juniors, this guy's proven it every single time. So I like Frondell a lot from that perspective. Fourth overall then to the Utah Hockey Club. I am still not going to change where I have players. I have James Hagans from Boston College going to Utah. I am set on James Hagans going fourth overall to Utah. I want them to pick him. There's no doubt about it in my mind. I love this guy, everything in his toolbox. Just everything about this player I love, and I want him on my team.
Yeah, Hagans, great hands. Like, dude was considered the number one prospect at one point.
Yeah, and I think this year just having a point-per-game season on Boston College, I think that's still a good season, but it's not something that really moved the needle, especially with guys like, Misa having a really good year and, Schaefer being really good. I don't think it moved the needle for him to be kind of locked in on that first overall pick. So I really do think that that's why he's dropping, but I think the talent really still is there.
I'm going to ask you this now.
Okay.
Is there a scenario where Brady Martin goes here at number 4?
There is, but I don't like it. I think Martin would be good, but I would rather James Hagans. All right, 5th overall to the Nashville Predators. Who are you thinking here?
I'm thinking two things. I think Nashville likes to go bold. I also say that Nashville needs more toughness in their lineup coming in the future. They got a lot of smaller guys, smaller forwards in their prospect pool right now. I could go for the big swing and take Roger McQueen, but I'm gonna stick it with. I feel like they're gonna go with Porter Martone here.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna go with Porter Martone as well. Martone from the Brampton Steelheads. This guy had a lot of talent this year. Not only is he a player who has the offensive stride and talent, but this guy's mean as well. He's a mean player out there on the ice. So I really do think that is a big part in his game. I'm in love with Martone. I would love to have Martone on one of my 2 teams. Again, best case is Matthew Tkachuk, according to the Hockey News. I don't necessarily agree with that, but the overall offensive upside is there, and just the physicality, it's making him look like a very good player. He's like a tier below Matthew Tkachuk in a way.
With Martone, he's more of a passer than a shooter, though.
That's the other thing. Yeah, can be more of a playmaker type of guy. So I agree with that. 6th overall then to the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm going to stick with my gut here. I still think it's going to be Roger McQueen. There's some people who might not agree with that, but I think, again, Philadelphia really wants James Hagans. I would love James Hagans on my team. I don't think he's going to be there at 6th overall, but to be honest with you, if he's not there, my number 2 is Roger McQueen. That's just the biggest thing for me. This guy's 6'6". He's a heavy hitter. You need a center. And again, the injury, I guess it's a worry, but he's already confirmed. He's already said that the biggest thing with him is that he confirmed that that's a fracture and that it's not going to be a needle moving thing with his draft selection, or it shouldn't be at the very least. So I'm taking McQueen there at 6th overall.
Okay. Boston. Here's the deal about Boston. There's the reports about Brady Martin. Me, personally, I don't think Brady Martin should go in the top 10.
You don't think that?
I don't think he should. A lot of choices here for Boston. Boston also might trade this pick.
Yeah, I've heard they might trade the pick as well. So, I don't know. We're 48 hours away from the draft.
We are. And, I'm looking at the options right now. I see names like Caleb Desnoyers. I see Brady Martin's there. Carbonneau's there. If they go off the board, they can maybe take a guy like Radim Murka. I don't see it happening, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Jake O'Brien is there. And I think they're going to take the guy that they feel like is going to be in an impact player quicker. And I'm going to say that's probably Jake O'Brien.
Ooh, okay. 7th overall, Jake O'Brien to the Boston Bruins. He was in Brantford. I get Brandon and Brampton and all of them just.
There's too many brand names in here, but Jake O'Brien's a guy that I have higher on my board, just because he's elite playmaker, skating's pretty good, great vision, high IQ. Just needs to work on forcing plays. That's really about it. I think Jake O'Brien is going to be in the NHL. Other than the top two, I feel like Jake O'Brien will be the third player from this class to hop into the league.
He's very versatile. That's what I'm seeing from him. He's got kind of like that two-way sense. The NHL best case is Nick Suzuki. Like, that is an elite first-line center right there. So that brings a lot of excitement for me. I'm looking forward to seeing how this guy's going to do, to be honest with you. Now, 8th overall then to the Seattle Kraken. This is me. I'm going with Radim Murka. I think I had Jackson Smith here the other day, I believe.
I think every time we've done this mock here and you take Jackson Smith, and I think I tell you every time that's the wrong defenseman.
Yes. So Seattle drafted defenseman. They're going with Radim Murka here at 8th overall. I like Murka. I think there's a good defensive side to his game. He's a 6'6" right shot D man. Who says no to that?
Probably Seattle. They don't draft those.
That's true. They don't draft defensemen.
And
so
I'm going to say this right now. I still feel like they're not going to take a defenseman.
I have that feeling too, and it's going to be very funny when they don't. But yeah, I have Smith going at 8th here Murka going at 8th to the Kraken. Number 9 to the Sabres. Who are you thinking here?
I'm thinking I might think defense here, but I feel like if he's there, Buffalo's going to take a shot at him, and I think it's going to be Brady Martin.
Ooh, okay. Brady Martin was on Sioux. Yeah, Martin has that style to him that makes people really like him. He's got that offensive style, but he can also be a pretty mean guy too.
My thing with Martin is that his compete level is off the chart. His compete off the chart. He's a big hitter. He's undersized though, and I worry about his production at the next level.
Yeah, exactly. That's my biggest thing with him. I worry about that overall, just like consistency and all that coming to the next level. But we've seen short players really pan out before, so I'm not too worried about if his production is going to be able to come over. We're just going to have to see, to be honest with you. It's one of those things where we're going to find out.
Yeah, with Martin, it's really boom or bust with him. Either he's going to exceed or he's going to just be what we think he's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that brings some excitement with that pick for Buffalo. But I don't hate that. I feel like that wouldn't surprise me if they decided to go down that direction. 10th overall then to the Anaheim Ducks. I didn't think he'd be here, but I'm going to take Jackson Smith. Smith from the Tri-City Americans, committed to Penn State. Smith is a more bit of an offensive style defender. I really do think that this guy has a ton of potential. And you know that I'm very high on Jackson Smith, and I'm a big fan of him. So
yeah, I'm pretty high on Jackson Smith as well. He could have gone at where Buffalo is, but I feel like Buffalo maybe doesn't want to go down that road yet. Anaheim taking a defenseman, I could see that. Jackson Smith would be a great addition to the Anaheim Ducks. Good two-way defender. He's really more of an offensive guy, but I feel like his defense could use some tweaking, but it's pretty good. We had Smith going, I think, at 9 or 8 last.
We had him 8 last mock. We actually had Kashawn Aitchison going to Anaheim.
Yeah. Now, Pittsburgh, back-to-back now.
Yeah.
There's a name on the board that
you get the first pick.
Yeah, there's a name on the board that was here last time we had this pick, and I might let you take him because I'm going to take Kashawn Aitchison here because I feel like he's a Pittsburgh Penguin.
I like that. I like that a lot. Aitchison from the Barrie Colts. Big hitter. This guy's mean. Comparisons, Jacob Trouba.
I feel he's more Nick Cromwell than Jacob Trouba. But Jacob Trouba wasn't putting up 30 goals in the O.
Yes, that's the other thing. I think just the physicality makes him look like Jacob Trouba or feel like Jacob Trouba.
Oh, big heavy defender, Trouba, Orlov, Gudis. But Aitchison, quick with it. He's good defensively too. That's the thing that people seem to be overlooking.
Yeah, exactly. So I like Aitchison a lot. Me at 12th overall, you already said him. I'm going to go with Caleb Denoyer here. I think Denoyer, if he's at 12th overall, you have to go with him. This is two very good picks for Pittsburgh. You get Denoyer, who's a good offensively touted forward, but you also get Kashawn Aitchison, who's a heavy-hitting defenseman. You get a forward and a defender. That really boosts the prospect pool from where it was. So I like that. I love that, honestly. It doesn't like, I guess it kind of does like kickstart the rebuild, I guess you could say.
Because Denoyer is going to take some time. So by the time Pittsburgh is in, by the time Denoyer is like fully ready, I think Crosby is going to be retired.
Yes.
And Aitchison should be a year and a half away from the NHL, so
it's going to take some time.
Take 2 years, so yeah, I think it's perfect for them. I do feel like we, as us two, I think we are either, I don't know if we're sleeping on Denoyer or we just see through the raw prospect that he is.
I don't think that he's bad. I just think all of the players above him are just, I guess, better in a way. And I feel like
only other spot I could see Denoyer going I think he could maybe go to Philadelphia at 6. He could maybe Boston. I even would say maybe at number 9 to Buffalo. But other than that, I feel like all those players in those spots are like not locks, but I feel like I would bet more money on them going there.
That's the expected. I mean, we're going to get to the draft on Friday, and we're going to be shocked by some of these picks. We're
shocked every year because every year, like, oh, they're drafting this position, and they don't do that.
We're going to assume, and then nope, they're going to go forward. So I guess we'll have to see. All right, 13th overall to the Detroit Red Wings. Who are you thinking here?
Just feels like a Detroit Red Wings pick. Victor Eklund.
Oh, yeah, it does. It does. Like, they like to pick Swedes. They love their Swedes. So Victor Eklund makes a ton of sense. I forgot he was still on the board, actually. Played in Duke Gardens this past year. Has that offensive tout to his game. I don't really know why he's like dropping on a lot of rankings.
He's smaller, but he's quick. He's fast. Like,
I think the size is really what's making him drop.
Very fast, good two-way forward. Size, once again, we see size. GMs don't like small players. I don't know what to... It's very hard to see... Like, even Martin... That's why I feel like Martin going top 10 is not as leggy because of his stature.
Yeah, that's my other thing. Like, I'm a little bit not that high on Martin, but I'm fine with you putting him there at the 13th overall pick. I'm not, like, mad about that whatsoever. So,
yeah,
it's interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see what really does happen here in the draft. And that's why I love it. It's just so unpredictable every year, honestly. All right, 14th overall for me to the Columbus Blue Jackets. I am going to go with... I'm going to go here, Carter Bear.
Okay.
There is a ton of upside for... There's a ton of upside for this kid. There was a ton of potential with Carter Bear. I'm seeing, like, people are very high on this kid, and I think he might go higher than we might expect.
Yeah, he's ranked really highly by some boards. Other boards don't have him as high, though. But I really do like what Carter Bear brings to the table. He's a 6 foot, shoots left. He got a wicked shot.
His shot is unmatched, honestly, from the player.
Unmatched. I feel like with Everett this year, like 82 points in 56 games, that's insane.
That is insane. Like, to think that he was injured for some of the year. Like, if he wasn't hurt, I think he might be a top 10 pick. I'm not going to lie.
And I feel like Bear has the potential to sneak into that top 10, actually.
He still does. That's the other thing. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Bear's either going to go in this range or he'll go a bit higher. I don't see him dropping past here though.
I don't see him going past 15. I'm just going to say that right now. Now, that being said, 15th overall to Vancouver, LeBlanc. Who are you thinking?
I'm going to go with the same player I had last time, Justin Carbonneau. You need a Brock Besser replacement in the future, and this is going to be your sniper of the future.
Yes. Here's Blaine's Boys Armada. Yes. I like Carbonneau a lot. He's got that shooting upside. He has that like potential to score. Like again, he's got a wicked shot. There's a lot to like about him. He's a power forward as well. I really like the upside from Carbonneau. So I think that's a pick that might take some time to develop, but it can be a really good pick.
Yeah, like the Q is known for scoring, but 46 goals, that's a lot of goals. That's a lot.
Exactly. So there's a ton of
he's a big sniper, and I feel like every team could use a big sniper.
Yeah, again, I mean 6'1", has a wicked shot. I'm excited to see what this guy's going to become.
And I'll be honest, my bold take is I think he might sneak into the top 10.
He could, honestly, just like with that shot and that upside, there's a lot of potential there for it. So, yeah, I think that's a good pick. 16th overall to Montreal. We reached the halfway mark of the draft. I'm going to go with Braden Coots. I'm a little bit surprised he is here at this spot. I think Montreal is going to go for a player who's kind of expected and then a player who's a reach or a forward and a defenseman. But honestly, I think Coots to them from Seattle. He's got that physicality. There's not a lot of bad things being said about him when it comes to scouts. He's a first penalty killer, first power play experience. He's got great hands. This guy can play almost anywhere, and I think that's really going to make his upside be really high.
Yeah, Cooch is a pretty safe pick. I think he's going to be a good second-line center for Montreal here. He's got leadership too. He's one of the I'd say he's one of the better like leaders in this class.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Really good stats of Seattle this year. For 70 overall, I'm going to go with a defenseman here, but I'm not going to go with the one I went with last time. I am going to go with. Oh, I lost him. Where'd he go? I'm going to go with Logan Hensler.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, so Hensler is an interesting case. You want to go on a little bit about that?
So Hensler, I feel like coming into the year, Hensler was a projected top 5 pick.
He was.
Had some struggles at Wisconsin. He's working on his defensive game. He's still got a great shot. He's still got puts up good offense. I feel like you keep him at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a pretty good program in the NCAA. I just feel like this could be a match made in heaven where you could have a power play 2 specialist here.
That's the other thing. You could have a very good power play player here as well. So I'm looking forward to this to that pick. I think those are 2 very good choices for Montreal. Honestly, I like Hensler. Hensler didn't have that great of a year. He was a little bit like a death piece in the World Juniors, but with some development, with some time, I think this kid can be a really high upside player.
Yeah, I do want to say I think Montreal still has the opportunity to flip one of these picks.
Exactly. Yes.
And with Vancouver, there have been rumors about them shopping that pick too. So.
Yep. So again, just like it's we're gonna see what happens on draft day, but I think that getting a guy like Hensler here at this pick would be a very good choice. 18th overall to Calgary. I am going to go with. There's a couple players on my board that I have in mind. I like Lyndon Lakovic at this choice. Lakovic from Moose Jaw. Again, put up the numbers there. The only problem with me is that he got injured, and I think that's an issue that we're going to need to figure out. But I think that he led them just the whole way through. There's definitely guys who doubt him, but I think he's still a very good player.
Lakovic has a very good shot. Like I feel like this, like if this kid falls, whoever gets him is going to get a stud.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that there's a really good option there for him. So I like Lakovic a ton. All right, 19th overall to St. Louis.
19th overall, St. Louis. What are we thinking about St. Louis? I am going to take Cullen Potter from Arizona State.
Ooh.
Very, very fast player. He is on the shorter stature here, but I feel like with his skill set, I don't think you can pass it up.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, his NHL best case is Seth Jarvis. Players don't often leave the development program after one season. Cotter decided to go over to Arizona. Had a very good season there with them. Again, like Arizona wasn't that great of a team, but even still had a good season with him. The size is a concern, though. That's the biggest thing with Potter that you might see him drop with because
I could see Potter.
Time to grow.
I think Potter might go lower than this, but I feel like his skill set, like I think we're to the point where we've seen short players exceed expectations the past couple of years.
Yes, that's the other thing. I think the height doesn't really matter anymore, just to be honest with you.
Unless we're talking like 5'4", there's no like
exactly.
Like, oh, he's 5'7". I'm like, okay, and he's put up 40 goals. So what are we doing here?
Exactly. So that's the other thing there with me. 20th overall to the Columbus Blue Jackets. I had a little bit of an off-the-board pick here last time. I am not going to go in that direction this time. They already picked a forward. I'm going to go with a defender. I have Cameron Reed going to the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Little off the board, I guess I could say. Had a very good year in Kitchener. This guy, he only finished behind Aitchison in CHL scoring from a draft-eligible defenseman. He showed this year that he can really put up points in the back end. The scouts aren't really as high on this guy because he's a little bit lower, but I think he's been compared a little bit to Brock Faber. He's had good numbers in the U18s and Canada, World Juniors, so I really do think this kid has the upside and the potential, but it's going to take some time. He's a more developmental player.
I like Reed. I've seen Reed play live. Very, very, very good defenseman. He's a bit on the shorter side, but kid can play. Like, this is why I hate doing like the back and forth here, because like the kid can play. He's actually from Elmer, Ontario, which is not far from Ottawa. I always had to throw my local kids here, but yeah, like he's 6 feet, so I assume he's going to grow to 6'2", 6'1".
Yeah, so again, like there's time to grow. He's not going to be in the NHL like next season. I think he's going to take time.
Yeah, and a very good facilitator of the puck, I'll say that too.
Yeah, I'll say that. All right, 21st overall to the Ottawa Senators, Mr. James. Who are you thinking?
Nothing changes here. He's number one for my Ottawa board. He's number one on my board here. But on the smaller side, Cole Reshny. This is a guy I feel could go higher. And once again, I'm still surprised he made it here in the first place. I'm still
really? Okay. Yeah, Victoria. Yeah, this guy just has that just like offensive drive is pretty damn good. Had 92 points in 62 games played with Victoria this past year, who I don't know how good they were this year. You just don't. I'm just not as high on him as you are. I'm going to be honest, but okay. Yeah, I like that pick.
I committed to North Dakota next year. 92 points in the W is a big deal.
It is a big deal. I'll give you that. Yeah, totally.
Reshny's got that offensive drive. I feel like Ottawa needs another like star in their pool because they don't have many.
I agree with that for sure. All right. 22nd overall to the Flyers. I'm going to go with Malcolm Spence. I'm a little bit surprised he's still here with the Flyers, but hey, I'll take him. He's from Erie. That's literally not that far away. I think Spence is a good pick at 22nd. Has good scoring upside. He's a left winger. The Flyers don't have a ton of left wingers as it is. It'd be nice to have a guy like Malcolm Spence in the pool. So I like that.
Spence feels like a Flyer.
He does. That's the other thing. He does. I was kind of hoping he dropped to 22nd. I don't think he will in real time in the draft, but
I think I said it before, he's the safest player you could pick in the draft.
I feel like that as well. Yeah, this guy's got plenty of upside for sure. So I agree with that. All right, 23rd to Nashville. We got two Nashville.
I'm going
Okay.
higher in our last mock draft, but I like Blake Fiddler here. They just took Martone, big
Yep.
winger. Why not match him with a big defenseman?
Yeah, Blake Fiddler. Let me just find his actual name here. Here we go. Yeah, was on the Oil Kings this past year. Again, really defensive. Nashville's known for putting together a good defensive powerhouse. He's compared to Gustav Forsling. That's a really good comp. Like, that was a top defensive player in this last Stanley Cup final. Yeah, that's really good. So getting Fiddler there at 23rd could be a steal. 24th to the LA Kings. I am going to go. Now we're on to the guys where I don't really know. I'll go with. We say Nesbitt, yeah, Jack Nesbitt. Yeah, he's still on the board. All right, we'll go with Nesbitt here from Windsor. I think Nesbitt has some real upside. Being compared to like Kirill Marchenko, had some good years in the OHL. Had 64 points in 65 games played, just under a point per game. There's consistency there with Nesbitt, but I think he's going to take some more time. What do you think about him?
Yeah, Nesbitt's a big center. I feel like he will be a little bit more of a project, though. But LA took Green Tree last year. You pair him with a center like Nesbitt, I feel like it's pretty good.
Agreed.
That's pretty good 1-2 punch there. So not too shabby there.
Yeah. So I like Nesbitt a lot. All right, Chicago at 25th. You had their pick earlier with Frondell. Who are you going here at 25th overall?
I always had the concern that they draft too much of the same like type of player, but I'm gonna do that again.
Okay.
Ben Kindle out of Calgary. Once
Yes.
again, he's on the shorter side, but you can't pass up the skill set.
Yeah, the skill set's there. He's being compared to Marchessault. There's two issues that I've been seeing. Just like with his height, that's the biggest thing. And then the other thing I feel like is his skating. That's the other problem that I see with Kindle.
I feel in the NHL he's probably going to be an all-situation type player. I feel like he could be a very good top six forward, and this might be a steal at 25th overall.
Yeah, honestly. I like Kindle. I think that's a good ad. All right, final pick to Nashville. They get three of them. For the Predators this time around, I am going to go with... So they picked Martone. They picked Fiddler. I think they want to go with the center, and that's why I'm going to go with... I don't really know a ton about him, but we'll go in this direction. Let's go with Bill Zonin. From...
I was going to take Bill Zonin next pick. I'm not going to lie to you.
Royce Naranda. I don't know the other... I don't know the name of the team.
It's very... Don't worry about it.
Yes. Zonin has got some upside to him. He's being compared to like Dylan Holloway. He's a nice offensive middle six forward as his potential that I'm seeing. Not a bad case there. And I feel like for Nashville already in this mock, they picked Fiddler, a good defensive defenseman. They picked Martone. I like Zonin here at 27.
Zonin is... I think he's one of the more polarizing players of this draft. Some scouts have him very highly rated. Others have him not as high. So, I think Bill Zonin, wherever he goes, he's going to be successful. I really do feel that. I really do like him as a player.
Yeah. All right. 27th to Washington.
I'm going to go off the board.
Okay. Here we go.
Henry Brustevitz.
Well, that's not too off the board. But I like that. Yeah, his brother definitely has the more hype. But there's some good upside there. This guy's more defensive, though. Am I correct about that?
Kind of. He was kind of in a backlog this year of all the defenders on London. But quietly put up like a 40-point campaign, playing like bottom second pair minutes. So
yeah. So I don't know. I don't know a ton about Brucevic. We're getting into I've really researched the top 25 guys, but now we're getting into the players that I don't know a ton about.
What I know about Brucevic is big size, great compete level, great strength and attention to detail.
Yeah. So I don't know a ton about him, but I like the pick. 28th overall to Winnipeg. 5 more picks to go. The Jets, I think they go in the direction, and there's a couple options you could go with here, just looking at some of the guys. I think they want to take a little bit of a risk, and that's why I'm going to go with Ivan Ryabkin.
Oh, okay.
Here to Winnipeg. He played in Muskegon this past year with the Lumberjacks. I think he's actually the first USHL pick in this entire draft that we've done. We had literally like 7 of them last year, but this is our first one. I think Ryabkin has that upside. The injury and the mid-season transition from Russia to the USHL definitely had an impact on this game. From what I can gather, this guy's a mean forward. His best case is Sam Bennett. So there's some upside there.
Definitely. I like Ryabkin. He's going to be a scrapper for sure.
Yes. So I'm a big fan of Ryabkin. 29th overall to Carolina. I honestly see them trading this pick. But what do you think?
I do too, but you're going to call me crazy.
Okay.
Joshua Ravensbergen.
Whew. Wow.
Hey, I need at least one goalie to go in the first round.
You do. That's very true. You are absolutely correct.
I don't see. I mean, he could give. Philly probably going to take him at 31, but
that's who I was going to go with at 31. I'm going to be honest.
I was between Ravensberger, and I know Carolina likes to go for their Russian goalie. Semyon Frolov's another guy I feel like could. Another guy I'm very high on, and I think he's better than Ravensberger, but I think Ravensberger is the safer pick here. I look at Carolina's goalie. Yeah, you have Kochetkov. That's great, but Freddie Anderson's not going to be around forever. You need another goalie, and I feel like he's going to be the heir to Kochetkov.
Exactly. So I think that Ravensbergen is by far the best goalie in the draft. Has that real upside. I know you might think Ivan Kovic is better, but yeah, I'll go with that.
30th overall this year, Ivan Kovic. I feel like he might go late second round because of his size.
Honestly, yeah, I think that might.
The only thing about goaltend, like if we say size, now size matter for goaltenders, it still matters though.
Exactly. So I think that Ravensbergen is probably safer than Ivan Kovic would be. 30th overall to the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks already had the second overall pick. They got Michael Misa. I think they're going to go a defenseman. I've been going back and forth with who they would go with, just kind of looking at my board here. There's a few players that I have in mind. I'm going to go with, and this might be just a tad. I don't know if I want to go with him. You know what? I'm going to play it safe. I'm not going to go a defenseman. I'm going to go with William Moore.
Okay. Safe pick.
From the USA Development Program.
I don't know if I consider with Moore, but I like the pick.
A little bit more risk to this, but I think this is definitely safer than going with the better defenseman on the board. I just think this guy, he got off to a rough start, but I think there's some real upside there, and development in time can work out. So I'm going to go. So that's why I'm going with William Moore at 30th.
I'm going to trade you your Philly pick if I can have the Calgary pick.
Sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's totally fair. I'll go with that pick. Just give me one memento. 31st overall to the Philadelphia Flyers. At this point, I don't really know who I could go with here, but I'm going to go with Milton Gastrin.
Ooh, yeah, he's a riser.
He's been a real riser. He played in Modo in Sweden this past year. Gastrin, some upside there. Had good offensive season. Played good at the Hlinka Gretzky's Cup as well. He was good at the combine. There's a lot of riser on this guy. People are very high on him, and that's why I'm thinking he's going to go at late first round.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I like Gastrin's build, his size.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not as versed as I was last draft, but Yeah, I think
He's actually ranked third in international skaters. He's ranked third in international skaters. Can you believe that? That's kind of wild. So yeah, there's some upside here with this kid. All right, and then with the last pick, 32nd overall to the Calgary Flames, LeBlanc. Who are we taking with the last pick?
I feel like Calgary, this is the pick that got from the Tkachuk trade. Why not swing for the fences? Mason West.
Ooh, Mason West. Oh, I need to find him real quick. Hang on a second. He's far back. I've heard his name get called a lot recently. Yes, Mason West. Played in the USHL this past year with the Fargo Force. There is some real potential with this kid. The combine made this guy really rise.
Yeah,
but here's the thing. He's a football player.
But he's committed to Michigan State for hockey.
He is committed to Michigan State for hockey. So
and I feel like that's going to be the question that was asked probably his interview, or are you committed to playing hockey full time?
Yeah, so he's probably going to have to quit his football career. That's the biggest thing. But yeah, honestly, yeah, it's just kind of bringing it back now. I saw that from BR, Bleacher Report. I don't know if he'd go first round, but why not swing? Why not? Who cares?
Once again, like teams like we're going to see, like this is obviously this isn't going to be the actual draft, but like we see teams take swings as early as like the top 10. I'm not saying Mason West is going to go top 10. I'm saying Mason West is probably a candidate to go like late first at best.
Exactly. So
I'm pretty sure he's 6'5".
He's a big boy. 6'6" is what the Hockey News has him read as.
Yeah, Mason West. Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, 6'6.5".
Yes, exactly. So there's room to grow as well. It's exciting. All right,
Tage.
There's a lot of players that could be Tage. Like Roger McQueen and him could be Tage. Mm-hmm. That might be a too high of a comp, but we'll see. All right, that's the mock draft, LeBlanc. How do you think we did?
I think we did. It's better than
definitely a little bit off the board, but I guess we'll see.
I want to say last year in the top 5, we got 4 out of 5. I'm pretty sure
we did, and then don't ask how the rest went. Actually, yeah, let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at that
because I know
this is the top 5.
I was looking at ours last year.
So the ones we got wrong, the only one we got wrong was Zeev Boyum and Beckett Seneca. We got the rest of everything right.
Mostly, but
and the other picks were kind of just like slightly off. The rest were kind of accurate.
Look back at my personal, my final mock, my personal one. I got 4. Only one I got wrong was Zeev Boyum going at 3.
Yeah, I don't know. The draft is an unpredictable thing, which is why we will be live for the NHL draft on Friday at 7 p.m. start time. We'll go to whenever it ends. It'll be me and LeBlanc shooting the shit, making the picks, discussing them, going at our other mock draft.
Probably a lot of yelling. Probably a lot of
yelling as well. So be sure to stay tuned for that. But that being said, that will conclude this episode of the Northern Block Podcast. LeBlanc, any final thoughts?
May the odds be ever in your favor come draft day.
I guess so. All right. That'll be it for this episode of the MVP. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Ciao.
I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Man, I just do what I do. To know about you, I just do what I do. Check. That's the intro. See that? Yeah. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Yo, check. Let me flip this script. I feel privileged for all who can witness this. I am close to divine. Know the moment is mine, need no omen or sign. Sprint. Providing a back sound to all the squares that ask around. We getting it. My skills pay me. Trying to get a million, baby, with an adopted flow that God gave me. Tell whoever runners that they spot is temporary. till I take it, it's mine, I'm selfish. Yo, Will, tell Miss I'm on my wealth tip. So when we cash out soon, I'm just investing. Hey, no yes men, I've been a legend since before mom and dad had me and was best friends. I chew through comp, don't test them. I chew on tracks, cause after that I bless them. I just do what I do. You see me? I just do what I